Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at two new IEMs that are going to be joining the budget recommendation list for competitive gaming. We have the Dunu Kima, a single 10mm dynamic driver, and the Truthear Hexa, which is a hybrid with 3 balanced armatures and 1 dynamic driver. Let's get into it. And just to give you guys a little bit of the unboxing experience, we do have a little bit of anime waifu on both the Hexa as well as the Dunu Kima. Both of these IEMs, I'm going to reiterate throughout this review, are extremely good IEMs for gaming related purposes, especially sub $100. The Kima, I think MSRP is $110. Typically, I've seen it on sale on a number of websites for $99.99. So both of these are going to be joining the list for budget recommendable IEMs for competitive gaming purposes. I think both of these are extremely comfortable in terms of fit. The Kima with a all metal frame that feels very sleek, looks really good in ear. And the Truthear, which is a little bit larger feeling, at least in my ear, that does have just this cool smoky looking shell where you can see the drivers actually in the IEM themselves. I think that is always a really cool look. Both of them have build integrity that feels good, especially at this price point. You do get quite a lot with the Hexa, including the included cable. You guys do have a similar cable to actually the same cable that comes with the Truthear Zero. So if you've already got the Zero, you will be fairly familiar with the feel and the quality of the cable. You get a little leather carrying pouch, and then the IEMs do sit within here. I've obviously already taken them out. And you do get a number of silicone tips here, ones with a little bit wider of an opening, one with a little bit less. I went with the one that is a little bit smaller. And then you do have the foam ear tips as well. And likewise, the Dunu Kima, you get a very nice unboxing experience. You get a orange color Dunu carrying case. You get a slew of extra tips in the box, including different sets of silicone tips. You also get a cleaner for the nozzle of the IEM itself. And of course, underneath, you do get the cable, which you can see already on the IEM. The cable is a little bit longer, actually, than most default cables. I really like it. It does not have the interchangeable system here for the 3.5, 4.4, and 2.5. Not really a big deal because it does come with the connector for the 6.35 to kind of convert it into your DAC if you don't have a 3.5 input. And then again, in terms of the cable itself, it is definitely higher quality feeling than the cable included with the Truthear Hexa. Now, the biggest difference between the Kima and the Hexa are their sound presentations, their frequency, their tonality. The Truthear Hexa being more overall neutral compared to the Kima that I would say is definitely a warm neutral, a very warm neutral. I think both of these are absolutely phenomenal for gaming related purposes on a competitive level, but both of them provide very different experiences for that reason of that extra warmth, that extra atmospheric immersion that you're getting with the Dunu Kima. In terms of casual gaming, I have been playing a lot of the new God of War on the PlayStation 5, plugging both of these into my DualShock 5. The Truthear definitely provides more micro detail in the environment and just a very nice, coherent, clear experience, while the Dunu Kima, again, provides a little bit more fun, a little bit more energy, a little bit more of that atmospheric immersion as a result of that additional mid-bass that is just extremely fun. But both experiences are so vastly different in each of their own respective ways that I find myself swapping between the Kima and the Hexa frequently because both of them are just so different and yet so good and so fun. In terms of music, the Hexa is definitely more revealing. You get more micro detail. You get a little bit more clear and coherent female and male vocals, whereas the Kima just provides that extra mid-bass, that warm neutrality that provides a lot more energy and fun in hip-hop tracks as well as EDM. So depending on what your music taste is and what tracks you're listening to, both of them are just so damn good at their respective price points that both of them I would recommend not only for music, casual gaming, but competitive gaming as well. For gaming, I want to talk about how these sound in your close range maps like on Valorant. The Dunu Kima and Truthear Hexa are both quite good for Valorant in particular. I think the Dunu Kima here is going to take the cake because that extra atmospheric immersion and that elevated mid-bass, you get a little bit more of a emphasis, more of an importance on those audio cues that are creeping up on you a little bit closer while maintaining actually great separation for a single dynamic driver. I never personally felt overwhelmed. However, when there's a lot going on, I could see that somebody would. With the Truthear Hexa, you maintain that really nice sense of imaging. Where people are, depth perception are quite good. Verticality, as well as things on the same level as you get a nice separation there. But you definitely have a little bit more airiness. You pick up a little bit more micro detail on the Truthear Hexa. Both extremely good. It really depends on what type of an experience you want. For me, I think the Kima takes the cake, but I do continue to swap between the Kima and the Hexa because both experiences are quite nice. It really boils down to what you're looking for. And I definitely have to talk about your broad, expansive maps, open world type maps like your Battle Royales. In Apex Legends, both of these IEMs are extremely good. Both are on the par of the Truthear Critical Zero. I think the Zero is kind of a best balance of both worlds, having that emphasis for that crosshair placement while also still providing a little bit more air and openness and separation in intense moments. But the Kima does an extremely good job providing you an energetic atmospheric feel in Apex as well, while providing still a good level of separation. I personally didn't really feel too overwhelmed, except when a ton of noises were going off, like a close revive, grenades going off, ultimates going off, things like that, which happens very rarely in game. The Hexa is very nice in the sense that the directional audio is extremely good. I had no issues on World's Edge with either the Kima or the Hexa with verticality throughout buildings. I had zero issues with depth perception, with precise imaging. Again, I think that the Zero does a little bit of a better job than both the Kima as well as the Hexa, but these are three IEMs that, in terms of a directional audio competitive gaming experience, become very close to one another, allowing you to kind of pick and choose the tonality and the tuning that you prefer for multi-use case things, using it in both your Tac Shooters as well as your open world maps like Apex, your casual gaming, and your music listening as well. But two very good budget experiences here for competitive gaming purposes. So guys, if you couldn't tell, I had an extremely hard decision to make here, what I would kind of choose one over the other. And the fact of the matter is, I really can't do it. Having owned both of these, sometimes I'm in the mood for warm neutral, sometimes I'm in the mood for more neutral. Both of these are extremely good in Apex as well as Valorant and every game that I've thrown at it. And in terms of the budget offerings between the QKZ HBB, the Truthear Critical Zero, we are now going to add the Dunu Kima as well as the Truthear Hexa. Dunu is a company that makes great IEMs, and I tend to like a lot of their offerings. Truthear is now 2 for 2 for gaming related purposes. The Truthear Critical Zero was phenomenal. The Hexa is certainly no different. Both of these can be found for around $100. The Hexa is, I believe, $79.99. The Dunu Kima, again, can be found on sale for around $100, but I think MSRP is $110. I really enjoy both of these IEMs. I'm glad I own both of them because I am able to swap between the two. Great for music, great for casual gaming, and great for competitive gaming. I hope that helped, guys, and I hope that shed some light between both of the IEMs and their differences. If it helped, please leave a sub to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.